uniform. So, ibig sabihin, kung ikaw, si Ana kanina, ay minimum wage earner at exempt, dapat kung si Maria ay minimum wage earner din, exempt din siya. Pareho ba sila na minimum wage? Oo. Okay? So, kung same classification, uniform dapat. Sir, bakit si Bantay Bata? Exempt. Di dapat exempt din yung iba pang non-stock, non-profit organization or for charity na institution. Yes, yun ang ibig sabihin. So, the rule of taxation shall be uniform and equitable. It requires uniform application and operation without discrimination. Okay? Of the tax in every place where the subject of the tax is found. It does not, however, require absolute identity or equality under all circumstances but subject to reasonable classification. Okay? So, yun ang ibig sabihin ng uniformity and equity in taxation. So, pwede tayong mag-classify ng mga taxpayers. Okay? So, for classification to be valid, the following must concur. It must be based on substantial distinction. Kagaya nun. Okay? Magkaiba naman yung minimum wage saka hindi. Magkaiba naman yung for-profit na organization saka hindi. It must apply both to present and future conditions. Okay? It must be germane to the purposes of the law. And it must apply equally to all members of the same class. Siyempre, wag mong i-compare yung tax ni Bantay Bata Organization, okay, sa San Miguel Corporation. They do not belong to the same class. Okay. So, nakatatlo na tayo na constitutional limitation. Prohibition for non-payment of poll tax. O, para sa mga first time mag-take ng tax subject, ha? Pag sinabi mong poll tax, ito yung example ng personal tax. Okay? Personal tax. Poll tax, okay, yan din yung community tax. Community tax, yan din yung sedula. Poll tax, kasi nung araw, you cannot vote without this. Kasi yan yung proof na you belong to that place or you are residing in that place. Kaya siya community tax eh. So sabi ng konstitusyon natin, kung yung sedula mo di mo nabayaran, hindi yan pwedeng gawing dahilan, okay, para ikaw ay ikulong. So no person shall be imprisoned for debt or for non-payment of poll tax. Okay? Non-payment of poll tax. Prohibited na ikulong yung isang taxpayer simply because hindi siya nagbayad ng sedula or community tax. However, please take note of this. Okay, nakalagay dito, the non-imprisonment rule. Okay? The non-imprisonment rule applies only to non-payment of poll tax, which is ang gagawin lang, magbabayad ka lang ng surcharge. But not to other violation. So yan yung pwedeng violation na hindi mo ikakakulong. Pero yung iba, pwede mo nang ikakulong. Kagaya ng falsification ng community tax, ibang usapin nyo. Hindi ka nagbabayad ng mga ibang taxes mo other than poll tax. Okay? Pwede kang ikulong dun. Okay? Yan lang yung hindi pwedeng ikulong, yung sa poll tax. Poll tax is a tax of fixed amount imposed on residents. Kaya since, halimbawa ako, I'm from QC, so my sedula, my community tax shall be from QC. Okay? Residents within a specific territory. Regardless kung anong citizenship mo, business mo, or profession. Okay, nakaapat na ba tayo? Apat na yata yun. Next. Prohibition against impairment of obligation of contracts. So, ibig sabihin, the power of taxation cannot be exercised in a manner that would impair the obligation of contracts. Okay? So, what is prohibited is that taxing law or statute be passed would alter the relative rights of the parties. Okay? Next, tinan mo to ha. The nolo, impairing the obligation of contract shall be passed. Big sabihin, halimbawa, nagpumasok sa compromise agreement si taxpayer Pedro sa kay BIR. Okay? Na-meet naman yung mga kailangang i-meet para kayo ay magkasundo sa isang tinatawag na compromise agreement. So effectively, there's a contract between the taxpayer and the BIR. So hindi pwedeng basta-basta na lang gagawa ng batas tapos yung mga yun ibabaliwala. Okay? So hindi naman pwede. Otherwise, pag ganun, wala nang maniniwala sa gobyerno natin. The obligation of contract is impaired when its terms, when its terms or conditions. So, sabi natin, nandito tayo ha, the obligation of the contract is impaired when its terms or conditions are changed by law or by a party without consent of the other, thereby weakening the position or rights of the latter. Okay, example, impairment by law is when a later taxing law or statute revokes a tax exemption based on contract. So, hindi pwede yun. Kung based sa contract yun, so, halimbawa, ikaw ay pinagawa ng gobyerno na pagdugtungin mo ang South Expressway sa Luzon Expressway. Sa laki ng ginastos mo, parang bilang pabuya mo, nag-enter kayo into a contract na oo, gagawin mo yon pero you will not be taxed for the next 10 years. Yung mga ganun. Okay? So, hindi pwedeng basta-basta isa walang visa yung mga yon. Otherwise, lahat tayo ng mga taxpayers ay maiilang na mag-enter into a contract with the government. Okay? However, hindi absolute yan ha. May nakalagay dito. But this only applies when tax exemption has been granted for a valid consideration. If the tax exemption pertains, for instance, to franchise tax, pwedeng i-revoke yan. Because such exemption provides that the franchise tax is subject to amendment, alteration, or repeal under our laws. Okay, so example, no? So, bigay tayo ng example dito sa non-impairment of obligation of contracts. If the exemption was granted for valuable consideration and it is granted for the basis of a contract. So, ito yung mga diniscuss ko. If the exemption is granted by virtue of a contract wherein the government enters into a contract with private corporation. Kagaya din ng binanggit ko, di ba? Na hindi pwedeng isawalang bisa lahat yung mga agad-agad. If the basis of tax exemption is franchise granted by the Congress, in this case, pwedeng baguhin to kasi under our law on franchise, pwedeng baguhin yan. Can be unilaterally revoked by the government, Congress. The non-impairment clause applies only to contracts and not to franchise. Okay, this is pertaining to the franchise. So, pag franchise, pwedeng unilaterally revoked by the government. Okay, so yun ang ibig sabihin ng... Okay, so let's proceed to the next one. So, you have here, revenue bills shall originate exclusively from the House of Representatives. Okay, so obviously, alam naman nating lahat, no, na pag sinabi nating legislative branch ng gobyerno natin, national level, so we are actually pertaining to the Congress. Okay? So, technically, or if you read our laws, pag sinabi mong Congress, actually, we already pertain to the two. The lower house and the upper house. Pero sige, para walang issue, specify na lang natin mismo. So, when we say legislative branch, we pertain to the lower house, saka upper house. Okay? So, lower house, tinatawag din nating House of Representatives. The upper house, tinatawag din nating Senate. Okay? So, yan yung ating legislative branch natin. The House of the Representatives, the House of Representatives, and the Senate. At sa mata ng batas, they are co-equal. So, hindi mas mataas si Senate kesa kay House of Representatives. Ganun din si House kay Senate. So, pareho sila under the laws. Okay? Co-equal sila. And since legislative branch, so sila obviously yung nag-e-enact ng law. Okay? So, paano yan, sir? Paano ba yung proseso? Di ba may proseso sa lower house? So, dadaan yan sa mga committee hearings. Tapos may first, second, third hearing sa plenaryo. Ganun din sa upper house, di ba? Okay? So, ibig sabihin, may kanya-kanya silang proseso. So, may proseso sa lower house, may proseso sa upper house. Okay? And then, yung version nito, so I'm pertaining to the general procedures kung paano sila nakakagawa ng batas. So, may House of Representatives version, may Senate na version. So, kung pareho ito, kung pareho yan, di okay na yan, and then dadalhin kay Presidente for signature. Doon pa lang magiging batas. Okay. Paano, sir, kung iba yung version ni lower house saka ni Senate? Ayan yung pag-uusapan nilang dalawa. Kaya nga tinatawag nating BICAM. Okay? Kasi dalawa to lower and upper house. So, yung differences, ayusin kung ano ang dapat na dalhin na version kay Presidente for his signature. Kaya may bicameral committee na tinatawag kung minsan. So, doon nila inaayos kung ano yung differences ng mga versions nila. Pag naayos na yon, then dalhin kay President for signature. So, generally, ganyan yung proseso, di ba, ng paggawa ng batas. Okay? So, maaring yung idea, ang nakaisip ay si congressman, pwede ring si senator. So, in that case, halimbawa, si senator nakaisip, o di present na yan sa committee, pag tinanggap hanggang dumaan sa mga first, second, third reading, etc., dapat kung ganun, may version din ito. Kung wala man siyang maisip na version, pwede naman niyang kopyahin ito. Okay? Pero dadaan din sa mga ganung proseso. And then dito sila magmi-meet. So, generally, kahit sino yan, kahit mag-start yan sa lower or upper house, pertaining to the general procedures. So, generally, yung idea ay maaring mag-originate sa lower or upper house. Okay? So, ganun kasi yung proseso. However, sabi sa Constitution, kung yan ay tungkol sa revenue bill, hindi pwedeng mag-start kay upper house. Dapat mag-originate yan exclusively from the House of Representatives. So, ano ibig sabihin? Kung yung proposed law, pag sinabi mo kasing bill, hindi pa yan yung batas. Okay? Proposal pa lang to. So, ito pa lang yung mga gusto nilang mga gawing batas, pero hindi pa ito ganap na batas. So, kapag kang pinag-usapan ay revenue bill or pertaining to tax laws, so proposed tax laws, sabi ng konstitusyon, dapat ang magpapasimuno ng usapin, o pasimuno, ay House of Representatives. Hindi pwedeng Senate. Okay? So, unlike sa ibang klase ng mga batas, na kung saan pwedeng mag-originate yan sa Senate, ibahin natin kapag pinag-usapan ay proposed tax law. Dapat mag-originate exclusively from the House. Ibig mo sabihin, sir, kung yung ginawang tax law ay nag-originate pala sa Senate, void yon? Yes. Kasi nasa Constitution yan. Kaya pansinin mo, pagdating sa taxes, ang nagpapasimuno niyan sa usapin ay lower house. Kasi nga, yan ang sinabi ng Constitution natin. Bakit, sir? Kasi sabi, representatives, theoretically, they are expected to be more, pansinin mo to, they are expected to be more sensitive to the local needs and problems. Ibig sabihin, mas alam ni kongresista yung pangangailangan ng distrito kesa yung pagkakaalam ni senator sa pangangailangan ng buong bansa, parang ganun. Okay? Kaya better daw, kapag ang pinag-usapan ay revenue bill, ay mag-originate exclusively from the House of Representatives. However, hindi ibig sabihin na wala ng role si Senate. So, limbawa, nagpasimuna ng usapin si Kongresista Pedro. So, dadaan sa proseso. So, pag okay na yon, okay, syempre may karapatan si Senate na mag-propose ng amendment o gawa ng sarili niyang version. In fact, pwede pa ngang, halimbawa, lumabas, mas maganda pala talaga yung version ni Senate or ni Senator. So, yun ang naging batas. Pwede ba yon? Yes. Ang ipinagbabawal lang, ang magpapasimuno ay Senate. Okay? Kasi sa ating konstitusyon, ang sabi, dapat ang magpasimuno ay si Congress o si lower house, hindi si upper house. Yun lang yung bawal. Pero, hindi ipinagbabawal na yung naging batas. Alam mo, sir, yung value-added tax law, version pala ni Senate yun, buong buo. Wala man lang version from the Congress. Oo, pwede yun. Importante ang nagpasimuno ng usapin, si Congress. Kasi possible naman talaga na ang nagpasimuno, Congress. Pero mas maganda naman talaga yung version ng Senate. Ano magagawa natin, di ba? Kaya nga, di ba, sabi natin, iba yung version ni Congress, iba yung version ni Senate, magbabay kami yung dalawa. Okay? So, ano bang susundin natin? Okay, etc. So, itong Section 1, kay Congress, maganda yung version. Itong Section 2, kay Senate, maganda yung version. Pwede ba yun? Yes. Kasi they will come up with the same or they will come up, okay, with a version na kung saan naka-integrate na dyan yung version ni Senate saka ni Congress. Okay? Or kung buong galing kay Congress or kung buong galing kay Senate. Kasi ang importante lang dito, it shall originate exclusively from the House. Hindi naman ibig sabihin na, dapat yung batas tungkol sa tax ay yung version ni Congress. Di wala nang silbi si Senate pag ganun. Okay? So tandaan natin, given the power of the Senate to propose amendments, it can propose its own version, even with respect to bills which are required by the Constitution to originate from the House. Okay? Nor does the Constitution prohibit the filing in the Senate of a substitute bill in anticipation of its receipt of the bill from the House. Sir, ano ibig sabihin nito? Halimbawa, may usapin tungkol sa tax o ang nagpasimuno si Congress. Nag-umpisa na silang mag-conduct ng mga public hearing, okay, etc. So, umuusad na yung batas dito. Hindi naman pwede na, halimbawa, senator ako, hindi naman pwede na hintayin natin na matapos talaga ma-finalize yung version ng Congress tungkol sa proposed tax law na yon bago pwedeng gumalaw si Senate. Di ang tagal naman ng proseso pag gano'n. So, ang ibig sabihin nito, pansinin mo, nor does the Constitution prohibit the filing in the Senate of a substitute bill in anticipation of its receipt of the bill from the House. Ang ibig sabihin nito, while ongoing yung proseso sa Congress, tayo na mga senators, okay, o ako na senator, pwede na rin akong mag-propose ng aking version. Pwede na akong mag-propose ng aking version. Importante, nag-originate naman na yung usapin from the House of Representatives. So, hindi prohibited ng Constitution yung pagpa-file ng Senate of a substitute bill habang hinihintay yung version ng lower house. So long as the action by the Senate as a body is withheld pending the receipt of the House bill. So bilang respeto, bago nyo pag-usapan sa Senate yung as a body, okay, tapusin mo na hayaan mo munang matapos ni House of Representatives. Pero ikaw, na senator, na gusto yung ganung bill, pero may gusto kang version, you can now anticipate, okay? You can now draft, okay? And file a substitute bill. Para pag nandyan na yung version ni House, ready na. Follow? Hindi yung nandyan na yung version ni House, doon ka palang mag-iisip kung anong magandang dapat gawin. Okay? May naisip ka pala na better na version. Di hindi naman efficient kung gano'n. So, yun ang ibig sabihin. And this is sa kaso ni Tolentino versus Secretary of Finance. Okay? So, yun ang ibig sabihin ng revenue bills shall originate exclusively from the House. Alam mo, sir, yung naging ganap na batas sa tax law, yung version ni House, pwede yon? Oo nga. Yung version ni Senate, oo nga. Combination ng dalawa, oo nga. Okay? At pinag-usapan lang natin kung saan nag-originate yung usapin. Sir, sa Senate, avoid. Sir sa House. Oh, yun. Pwede yun. House of Representatives.